with this being the last home game of the year, it's kind of unique. I mean, you've got some seniors who are out of eligibility, some guys who, could maybe come back for an extra year if they chose to. How does that impact how you honor or recognize these guys on Wednesday? And then when do those conversations start with the guys who do have that extra year?
That's an awesome question, and I've talked it over with a lot of different people. The COVID senior year, like that changes a lot of things for everybody. What I have done is I've had conversations with Stanley and Trey and Chris, and we're all just going to focus on LSU. I think that's where we are right now. It's a huge game, as is both games, and then the remainder of what happens after. We've done a great job as a group of focusing on one game at a time. Those three guys, their eligibility is up. And so I thought it was really important to talk to those three, because this truly is those three's no matter what, it's their last home game. And they've all experienced a senior night. So we're going to worry about and focus on, on that LSU game. And then, the frame jerseys and all those things will certainly, those guys will receive and be able to have, for the rest of their life. But, I thought even last year, you do a senior night with Jalen Tate and Justin Smith. And then what are you going to do? Have a conversation, 4 weeks later about, so, I think it's unique for all of us in all sports in college especially in men's basketball. Guys testing the water. There's just a whole litany of things that I think right now it's, again, having spoken to the players, because those are the guys that really matters to, and most of their family of the guys that I'm talking about, and even JD, and also DC, like though they had almost all of them had family members, AAU coaches. Their inner circle was at the Kentucky game because of a weekend. And now, with this being a midweek game, almost all of their family members and stuff have gone home as well. So that's a long-winded.
Yeah, Coach, to follow up with what Curtis asked you, with JD and Adise Tony, I mean, have you had those conversations with them? Would you like to have them back for another year?
Well, I want what's best for both those guys. No, I'm not going to have any conversations with anyone, whether it's someone that's got eligibility, someone that their eligibility until the season's over. That's the appropriate time to have those discussions, because right now, there's still a body of work ahead of us. There's still evaluations going on for people at the next level. It's not a open and closed door until the year's over, and then you have those conversations. And Moses Moody and myself and Kareem Moody, we did not have a conversation until the season was over. And then we had a conversation, and I was able to make phone calls and find out, just same thing with Isaiah, and same thing with Mason. And, I do think that, I'm going to get as much information as possible, for those guys. And I want what's best for them. Nobody knows better than I do. And some of the guys on our staff that have been at the next level when that time is right. I will say that with Caleb and Cody Martin, they came back for an extra year. A lot of people questioned it because of their age. It was the smartest thing that either one of them did, and it's going to pay dividends big time for them financially, because their games continued to grow. And for one of them, they Cody became a better shooter. For Caleb, he got more of a reputation in an area that he needed to improve on defensively. And I also think it's good for our players to see, you know, that, you know, Jalen Tate and Jimmy Witt, those, you know, those guys. Jimmy, obviously, you know, his eligibility was up, but Jalen, you know, has gone to Germany and he's gone to Sweden, and so it's not easy, you know what I mean? And so I think that that's good for all of us to, you know, to see the makeup of how hard it truly is to, you know, it's not about playing at the next level. It's about making a career out of it. So what I want for those guys, to answer the question, do we want them back? I want what's best for every player that plays here. And that doesn't necessarily mean the best thing is for a player to come back. You know, some guys, it's good for them to start their pro careers. And then other guys, like I mentioned, the Martin twins, it was genius for them to come back, because we're going to find out when they had their contracts this summer how impactful it was, because to come out early and get cut, or to play in the G League, or to go to Europe, that's not helping your longevity as an NBA player. And so sometimes having an extra year and growing your game can lead to what's happened with the Martin twins. And those two kids listened and believed in the input that we gave them, and that we were going to be really truthful about, you know, where their careers could go.